Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for a new series, Star Wars: The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 1, Aftermath. Welcome, everybody, and may the 4th be with you. I would have dressed as my favorite Star Trek character today, but I couldn't get the Dalek costume on and it wouldn't fit within this whole thing. The ears were just too big. So before I get started, let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. Yes, I know I still haven't done it yet. It's been busy. And also, I have links to this YouTube channel page, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. Did you at least get your detective whip to go with it? No, but I did get the Morpheus kind of glasses the Nez Pierce glasses. I got those to go with it. Thanks, Marks. I know someone believes in me on that one. Anyway, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Yes. You get it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So this pretty much takes place just as Order 66 is happening. And, the Bad Batch have shown up on a planet where a very young Caleb Doom is a Padawan, is fighting the good fight there, I guess you could say, against the Separatists. And for those of you who don't know, Caleb Doom is, go watch Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels, of course, Kanan is who Caleb Doom becomes. And so we actually get to tie in with Rebels. We get to see what happened to him. We know that his master was killed and he had to go on the run, but we never got to see it. And so this is our introduction to the Bad Batch, honestly. And we have, of course, there's 5 of them. We have Crosshair, we have Hunter, of course, being the leader. We have Wrecker, Tech, and Echo. And then we get introduced to a new character named Omega, who is also part of this whole group, I guess you could say. And she is a clone, but supposedly related to the Unit 99 here, the genetic defects, I guess you could say. And her genetics have been manipulated. Well, 1, she's female, and 2, she's also part of this batch. We don't know exactly how, but we just know that that's part of it. Applecrow says Caleb's face seemed off a bit to me. It was really long. It was elongated, Applecrow. I was doing the same thing. I was looking at it, and the eyes were just a little too spaced out, is what was going on. If you go back and watch it, the eyes are like really spaced out. So you see how my eyes look like this? His eyes were like, if you'd move my eye over here a bit and this one over here. That's what was wrong with his face. It was really disturbing until I could actually look at it. I'm like, okay, I know where it's at. Hey, thanks, Raymond. Thank you very much. Raymond says I fell asleep through this twice, mostly as I was not expecting to watch a movie. I just wanted to show some super chat. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I watched it when it came out at midnight as well. And because, I got to work in the morning kind of thing. And when I saw that it was an hour and 15 minutes, I was like, oh, fuck. Do I want to do this now, or do I just want to get up early and watch it? And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to lose sleep anyway. And I enjoyed it, actually. This was actually really good. I liked it. The whole thing with Crosshair being the one, you knew there was going to be one of these guys out of them that was actually going to be susceptible to the programming, to the implant, and was going to of course, follow Order 66. And of course, that happens to be Crosshair. All the other ones, of course, because of their mutations, uh, doesn't allow them to, they were able to resist it. And of course, Echo had been experimented on. And as Tech puts it, he was more machine than man anyway. So, yeah. Yes, Crosshair was actually the Bad Batch. Albuquerque also says, I have to wonder if Omega was the first attempt at making a force-sensitive clone. I was thinking the same thing. Yes, I was going to mention that. It was obvious she was a female version of the Fett clones. There were a couple of hints she was something more. Yeah. So I had a feeling that she might have been a little force sensitive as well, because she kept saying that she has a feeling, or that she was almost like she was seeing into the future, if you will, using the force in order to see into the future. So yeah, it's one of those things. I did like the continuation. Essentially, the way they started this episode was they continued from the Clone Wars, and they actually had the Clone Wars logo up and then just burned it away to the Bad Batch. And I was like, that's fucking cool. They actually did a good job on that. Again, it's Dave Filoni, so I'm always gonna watch whatever he puts out because it's not bad. And it was kind of funny because right before that, I finished off. I had watched it when it originally came out. Gennady Tartakovsky's Clone Wars animated series. Basically, he was putting out. I forget what it was. It was like 15-minute animated series. It was supposed to be between episodes 2 and 3, and that thing led directly into episode 3. So when you heard Grievous wheezing and everything, it was because of what happened in Gennady Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. And so I had finished rewatching that again, and went straight into Bad Batch. It was kind of funny. Or no, I take that back. So I finished watching it. I still had half an hour left, or 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And then I ended up watching Twilight of the Apprentice on Rebels. So I had Caleb Doom right there, and then yeah, it went straight into Bad Batch. So it was a lot of Star Wars last night, a lot of animated Star Wars, I should say. And I was not disappointed. It was good. It was some good stuff. Tarkin, man, Tarkin is just this torpy, evil little accountant is what he is. That's what he felt like to me in this episode. The whole thing with, like, saying that they could just use regular people instead of clones for half the costs, and it wouldn't be a big deal. And of course, we know where that bites him in the ass. It's all the that's where you get your bad aim from, is because the helmets for the stormtroopers are supposed to be built for the clones, not for just any average everyday Joe that they're pulling off the street in order to slap on a clone trooper armor. Apple Crow says Tarkin is a great Star Wars. Yeah, he is a great Star Wars villain, and him basically showing his disdain for the clones after the Clone Wars ended, and not wanting anything to do with them, and essentially using Unit 99 as target practice. And we also got a little bit of the so the troopers that we saw at the end of the second season of The Mandalorian. We get the prototype at the end of this first episode, or in the shooting grounds there with Unit 99. So that was the prototype of those droids, if you will, the Dark Troopers. Yeah, and it was kind of funny because they're all white. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, that was the I guess you could say the beginnings of the Dark Troopers is right there. So we got a couple of little Easter eggs of all kinds of stuff going through here, and I liked it. I really did. Having to leave Crosshair behind, and taking Omega with them. We'll see what happens here. And Also running into Saw Gerrera. So Saw Gerrera, of course, played by and now I'm blanking on his name, Forrest Whitaker. And that was kind of a weird switch for me, is they kind of made him into a white guy, and I was like, Okay. It was kind of weird, but all right, whatever, sure. And of course, they weren't getting Forrest Whitaker to come back and voice him. So they got a guy who tried to do Forrest Whitaker's voice. It was kind of funny, but it wasn't him. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Hunter trying to figure everything out, like what the hell's going on here? Something's weird, and just having a weird day. And it was interesting to see that whole. I mean, basically, it's an about face as soon as Palpatine gives the order, and seeing it from the clone's point of view of like, okay, if you're a clone but you don't have the implant chip in, or it's not working for you, and you see all your brothers basically turning on people that you've been working with this entire war and killing those people, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. So that was kind of a good little about face there. I like that. That was a good twist to it. And I can see why Filoni wanted to make this series. He basically wanted to show it from that point of view as well. And I'll say this much: between Tartakovsky's Clone Wars and Filoni's Clone Wars, I know Filoni had a lot more latitude to work with, but Tartakovsky's clones are very they're very one dimensional. They don't have any personality really. They're sir, yes sir is pretty much what it is. And Filoni's clones, you actually see the difference between them. That was one of the things I was actually impressed with as well. Is you have one model. Basically, you have this one face model, if you will, and you do all these different things to them in order to make them unique. Shaving their heads, adding prosthetics, bulking one up, and then scarring his eye, making one look like a Rambo in a way. That kind of stuff. I like that kind of idea of them actually, and this is something that Filoni is great at, is taking a static character design, and actually creating multiples, but different multiples of that character. Yeah, the battle droids are always funny. They're always funny, Joe. I like that whole thing. But yeah, good episode. I'm looking forward to episode 2 here, which of course is on Friday. And yes, I'll be covering it. I think it drops back down to half an hour after this. I know the first one was supposed to be, an hour and 15 minutes long, and we'll see what happens. Apple Crow says also Filoni making a kid character isn't terrible. So it's kind of funny. I was thinking about that, Apple Crow. I really fucking hated Ahsoka Tano when he introduced her in Clone Wars here to begin with, and then she became my favorite character, my favorite Star Wars character by far. And now, and I'm like thinking, I really don't like Omega right now. Omega is not my favorite character. And I'm like, okay, if I hate her this much, it means I'm really probably going to like her by the time 10 years rolls around from this. Yeah. Raymond K. says, I never understood how the Kaminoans evolved to breathe above water when we see no visible land masses. That's a good question. So there are amphibious races, well, there's also amphibious animals that can breathe through their skin and stuff like that. So we don't know if they have gills or if they breathe through their skin or what it is. So, and yes, space magic, exactly. Yeah, I'm really glad, by the way, Apple Crow, that they dropped the nickname Snips, because that shit was not, it just wasn't flying. It really wasn't. So Ahsoka's nickname that Anakin kept giving her was Snips. And I was like, where the fuck did that come from? It was stupid. It was a bad nickname. Hey, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, it was just a really bad nickname, and I'm glad it didn't stick. But yeah, and also I'm kind of wondering what the Kaminoans are up to as well, Raymond. Now that you bring that up, um, so the whole thing with the Kaminoans holding the bay door open so that Unit 99 could get away with Omega, and I don't know exactly what they're up to. If they're trying to prove that to Tarkin that they still need the clones, or if it's part of an experiment that they're running in order to make more Unit 99 stuff, or what it is, we don't know offhand. But yeah, the Kaminoans have something else going on too. We don't know what it is as of yet, Morks. So yeah, uh, yeah. So with that said, what else do I have going on this week? Well, funny you should ask. Tomorrow is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's going to be Tenant. That's right, Tenant, which is on HBO Max right now. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. Thursday, I'm off. Friday is the second episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, or Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Excuse me. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Sunday is the Nevers, and then Monday I'm off, and Tuesday is going to be back to Is It Worth My Time? So, Joker says, please don't destroy us. Why would I do that? Cheryl Lyra says, emotional attachment to Omega. I don't know if the Kaminoans had any kind of emotional attachment to her, Cheryl. I wasn't seeing that either. So, yeah. No, Mr. Roboto, I don't have clones. So, Empire, what about Empire, Joker? I know it's the 40th anniversary of Empire. Oh yeah, B2, Raymond. That's why I'm doing Tenet. Oh, destroying the yeah. What's the Nevers, Mr. Roboto? It's a show on HBO Max that Joss Whedon has created. It's basically steampunk X-Men with all women. Set at the turn of the century of the 19th century into the 20th century. There you go. Oh, and actually there was some good news today. The Irregulars on Netflix got canceled after one season. I tried my best, so it looks like it was good enough. Will you do Tenet and Rewind? No, I will not. But you can always rewind it, do it that way, and watch it that way. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, tries to match it as best as possible to one of the vast videos in my one of the videos in my vast video library, and pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you can hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. And also have all the links to my social media and all the pages I have up as well. All right. I saw somewhere it was charting high for Empire. I don't understand. My kill streak is 16-1. No, it's not that bad, Morks. I haven't killed any shows. Oh, that Irregular was charting high. It's a really horrible show. It really is. Yeah, It was bad. I was actually really, really ecstatic that I was happy. I can't speak anymore at this moment. That was canceled. I really was. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for Is It Worth My Time Tenant. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might be used by target practice because Tarkin just doesn't think you're worth it anymore. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccines if you can, and have a good night. Thanks, everyone.